Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check this out. We got 512 million XRP being moved here. We also have the legal analysts that followed the Ripple case in a split decision. We're going to talk about that. Is there a Ripple settlement closer than we think? The SEC may have jumped the shark. We got that and so much more. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at Dig Perspectives at the top of the screen. Everything that we're talking about here today, $1.837 trillion market cap for crypto this morning. We're off by 0.67%. Good morning. It's April 24th, 2022. Right now, Bitcoin 39,500 plus, Ethereum 2,900 plus. We see XRP at 70 cents this morning, off by 9.27%, almost 10% on the 7-day. Look at the range of price right now, 71 cents, which is where we're sitting here on the bottom here, and 73 cents on the top. We'll keep an eye on it. Ladies and gentlemen, Pure VPN, help protect yourself while you're online. Browse the internet with complete anonymity and freedom right now with 82% off from Pure VPN. Link underneath the video. Make sure you check it out. 512 million XRP shifted by Ripple and unknown wallets. Check this out. Ripple Giant moved 50 million XRP, the smallest of these three lumps, to its reserve wallet RL18VN, often used for transferring crypto beyond the company to charities, exchanges, and financial institutions. The other two chunks of Ripple affiliated tokens contained 226 million plus, and it says here, and 235 million plus, worth 163 million plus and 170 million plus, giving us a total equivalent of 370 million roughly. The whale alert has tagged the senders and receivers of these two XRP amounts as unknown addresses, but the XRP-focused data platform BitHump shows that in both cases, the sender and receiver of the Uphold crypto exchange that moved the funds internally. So you have to wonder, is this a part of ODL? I happen to think when we see this much being moved, it's part of ODL, and who knows? Maybe even a read list. We're going to talk about what's going on. For the first time, really, that I'm aware of, we see pretty much a split decision from the legal analyst on the SEC versus Ripple case. We're going to get into that in just a second here. BitBoy gets it about Bitcoin because he's a smart guy. He should have John Deaton back on for the ETHGate timeline and disguised whale issue. Ethereum's not decentralized either. Hashtag level playing field, let the free market decide, not a free pass. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. No, Bitcoin is not truly decentralized because did a man have to write it? Didn't someone have to come up with the idea? Didn't someone have to create the mechanisms at which the mining occurs? And didn't that same person mine the first 600,000 to 1 million Bitcoin to himself? There's no such thing as decentralization. It does not exist.
That's exactly right. And I tell you, he nails it there as far as I'm concerned. And, you know, to the point that he's making there, you know, I don't feel like it's that hard. If you get that, then you understand that Ethereum and the disguised whaled investors, all of that leads to the same understanding that there's obviously a huge problem with ETHGate and how it got a free pass, but there's even more problems, and it's with the tech itself. Look at this. Congrats, everyone. Ethereum makes you pay for a fee even when there's an error. Wow, I thought the idea of Web3 was to be better than the old legacy systems. No wonder it needed a free pass. It won't make it once we have a level playing field in free markets. Listen to what Vitalik Buterin acknowledges right here.
The Ether, not enough money, and it just returns an error. It's exactly like a banking database.
And if you return an error, do you charge a fee for that computation?
It's actually somewhat complicated because there are
because it takes some resources to calculate that, right?
Actually, in that particular case, yes, you do. So, yes.
There you go. And what in the world is going on with that? I mean, we're supposed to be moving to a new and better financial world, easier way to move money. there's an error and you're going to charge me a fee anyway? This is why David Schwartz, I believe, has said the best incentive for a protocol is no incentive. This is what happens when you reward miners, and this is why I believe they're trying to get switched over to proof of stake, which has really been a nightmare in itself too. But this should incense every one of us. I know it's certainly done it to Digital Asset Investor, and it's certainly myself and many, many other influencers on social media and YouTube. And I tell you, it just gets worse here. This is a clip that I'm going to play for you. I'm going to pick it up in the middle of the clip. This is Kyle Samani here from Multicoin Capital. And basically what he's talking about is the idea that he believes XRP is worthless. Now, he's entitled to his own opinion. He thinks it makes no sense as a bridge currency, although a short period of time after that, they partnered, Ripple XRP partnered with MoneyGram for the use of XRP. So Kyle missed it on that mark, that's for sure. And the only reason that partnership was diluted and unwound was because of the fact that the SEC decided to sue Ripple over XRP, for which to this day, Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, and Chris are still allowed to use XRP. It is not a criminal matter. It's a civil issue. And we see the SEC obviously dancing on the fence. It is very odd for a plaintiff to be delaying, where they're the ones who brought this case to begin with. Keep those things in mind, but I want you to hear here what's important is that Kyle Samani, with great arrogance here, explains how it's worthless and the fact that they are shorting XRP. Take a listen.
XRP is like a bridge currency, but like XRP is just nonsensical as a bridge currency. So if you look at like why bridge currencies exist, right? Like if you want to ship something from Korea to like South Africa or whatever, like there's no global currency pair for like South Korean won and South African. Whatever the other currency is. And like, so you've got 200 countries around the world, right? You've got like a lot of currency pairs here, and like the vast majority of these are long tails, and there's no liquid market back and forth between these currencies. So instead what happens is you go to a bridge currency, so it's typically the US dollar or the euro, ends up being the bridge currency between these places. And like this works, that works because like turns out the US dollar is valued to people like generally around the world like to have US dollars, like to have euros. So what Ripple is proposing with XRP is, no, we'll do the same concept on our blockchain, which is faster, but like, just use XRP. But I'm like, but XRP is worthless. Like, no one gives a shit about XRP. And so, like, that's the problem with XRP is like, a bridge currency doesn't work. Like, you need the bridge currency to be worth trillions of dollars, and you need consumers using the damn thing for it to be a viable bridge currency. And like, Ripple's proposing it the wrong way. And like, I've asked them directly about this, and like, they're like, well, no, but maybe it'll happen. Like that's not real answer. Yeah, we're short Ripple.
And then he says we're short Ripple, which is really a slam to the token XRP because he won't even call it XRP, right? So, but here's the reality is a short time after that, because that was in 2018, we know in 2019, the MoneyGram partnership happened with Ripple with the use of XRP between the Mexican corridor and the USD corridor, and it worked quite successfully until the lawsuit from the SEC came in. Well, there's a whole nother issue there about how that was MoneyGram was on deck to be bought by Alipay, I believe it was, or by a Chinese company. And then that deal got shot down and Ripple came in behind it. So quite interesting, that thing there. But what is really, really interesting is that A16Z, Union Square Ventures, had closed door meetings with the SEC while Multicoin Capital was shorting XRP. Both the VCs, Union Square Ventures and A16Z, were investing in Multicoin Capital. So you have two venture capitalists that were having closed-door meetings with the SEC that obviously were aware that Ethereum is about to get a free pass. The question is, when did they short XRP? And did they short XRP knowing the inside information from those SEC meetings that the Ethereum group was about to get a huge free pass? Maybe Kyle Samani could bring some of his arrogance today and help us understand that timeline more clearly. Right here, we see with the SEC case, as we all know, there's been a great hurdle put in front of Ripple because they now know the summary judgment schedule, and it looks like it could take us all the way into 2023 by the time we actually see the end of this case now. Now, here's the thing. I want to bring this up because maybe not. Now, there are many, many different legal analysts. We have Fred Rispoli, we have Bill Belarussis, I believe it is, and we have John Deaton, who is also obviously representing 66,000 plus XRP holders. We have Jeremy Hogan. We have so many. James K. Filan helps us stay up to date on what's going on. Shout out to Jim. You know, all of these analysts, I mean, are amazing. But for the first time, I'm noticing that there is a bit of a division about where they see this moment in this case. And it looks and appears to me that it really comes down to how much weight you put on the 68 email drafts. Now, let's remember this very quickly, of which 10 of those drafts have already been seen by Judge Netburn, which is why Judge Netburn ruled that they were relevant, which is also why the SEC has said they're going to appeal up to the judge above, which is Judge Torres, to try to get that overturned. Now, the interesting thing here is that if you understand that she's seen 10 of the 68, it's obvious that the SEC probably gave the best 10 to represent the idea for not letting Ripple see the rest of them, right? But the judge, Judge Netburn, in that case ruled that they are relevant. So the other 58 emails probably in drafts are probably pretty damning, right? So that means there's quite an opportunity here. Now, I covered this yesterday, so there's a good deal of comment over the last day in the scheduling parties from the summary judgment agreed, which will push the matter into 2023 and means there will not be a settlement. In terms of settlement dynamics, I don't see why that is so. Nothing that has happened in the last week invalidates the view that he expressed a week ago about settlement discussions, especially for the SEC. Now, late last night, he put this out. Now, Fred Rispoli, and I respect these guys. I'm not being combative and I'm not trying to pit one against the other. I appreciate all of their perspectives and whether they align or not. I think it's best for us to take all of this information in and to try to understand where we think things are right now. I happen to think Bill Belisarius brings up an incredible point here. He's talking to Fred, who Fred believes it was a great thread that he had yesterday that I just showed you the beginning of. He said, and I hope you're right that there's really working in towards settlement. He said, but I just don't see it. I think Ripple would pay $1 billion, maybe even $2 billion, if the SEC agreed XRP is not a security now. Why would the SEC pass that up if they weren't other ulterior motives? So this is the response that Bill has here, and it's really worth thinking about. I found it quite compelling here. He says, hi, Fred. There are two reasons why there is a division of opinions on settlement, even between the attorneys. The first is taking into account motive. For example, if there is a political or nefarious reason for the SEC to continue to delay itself as an ends, protect the legacy financial system, etc., those who believe such motives exist are having difficulty accepting a settlement is a possibility. If such a motive exists, it invalidates my reasoning. The second is between those who consider the matter only settles if the SEC is held over a barrel. For example, if the SEC finally has exhausted all options to avoid handing over the 68 email drafts, and those like me who consider the SEC will settle while it still has leverage, which it has while there is uncertainty about whether they will ever be handed over. And Ripple is under pressure from the delay in resolution of the matter other than by settlement until 2023. That leverage will gradually weaken as summary judgment approaches and the SEC progressively and unsuccessfully exhausts its rights to resist handing over the documents. This is why I consider now is a good time for the SEC to participate in settlement discussions, Ripple knows the SEC's constant delaying tactics show it's not overly confident. Brad saying the case is going better than expected and Ripple pressing on towards summary judgment without awaiting the resolution of disclosure of the 68 email drafts is messaging to the SEC that Ripple knows the SEC is delaying and why it is delaying. Stuart Alderati stated Ripple was working hard to resolve the matter, but resolution would come in 2023. This is a subtle message to the SEC is that Ripple is not happy to wait until 2023, but they will wait confident of success on summary judgment. It is all posturing and messaging, just what you typically see before serious negotiations. And as always, Fred Rispoli says, excellent as always, Bill. Thank you. And there you go. So that's where we are on this day. I tell you, this is pretty remarkable where this is. I do believe Bill makes a valid point worth considering. Right? At the end of the day, we are spectators in this thing, and we are certainly waiting for our chance for John Deaton to take the helm once this case is resolved through settlement or summary judgment. The most disappointing thing here from Kwee LaRue about the SEC versus Ripple case is not the continual delays, but rather seeing the SEC willing to hold back American innovation and investment opportunity while they gaslight us with the claims of protection. Well said, Kwee. And here we see Joyce, who makes a comment here. None of this is financial advice to me or anyone else, but it is pretty funny. Has the SEC become a new indicator or barometer for good investment? They sued Tesla and Amazon. Keep that in mind. They're suing Ripple Labs. And I want you to go away with this very quickly here. This is Ripple Liquidity Hub. Now, I can't play this because there's music that is behind it that would be copyright strike for me, but I can show you this image, which is PayPal, MasterCard, Visa, and Square that are absolutely participating in this Ripple Liquidity Hub. And that makes this case make a lot more sense for me because you can't legislate or regulate what you haven't defined. That's going to do it for me. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, leave a comment below, share with somebody you know. And remember, before we go, take a look at this. This is Mr. Ahmed from PayPal saying a couple years ago they could use Ripple and XRP for PayPal low-value settlement.
Comment on that? I would just note that, for the kind of core banking architecture, I think there would probably be some changes needed in terms of the Federal Reserve System. But for, smaller valuation or smaller amount payments, I think you already are seeing some blockchain-based systems being created that enable the movement of money. So I think there are examples out there. We talked about XRP or others that kind of offer this.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So then you see that in this diagram, just from November of last year, PayPal's sitting on the ring of the Liquidity Hub. It looks like to me everything is still on schedule and moving towards its ultimate goal. We just need clarity. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, leave a comment below. I'll catch all of you on the next one.